You've tuned in to the Top 10 Gardener with garden expert Ken Lain. Join him daily as he answers timely garden questions that are sure to make a difference in your gardens. Now welcome your host, Ken Lain.
And we have my favorite gal back in the studio. Each week I get to spend at least 20 minutes with this gal behind these microphones talking about local gardening. So Lisa Waters Lane, welcome back to the studio.
Thank you.
And so you've been super busy. The garden center is like, folks, we decided to completely remodel the entire store. So it's like everything is in disruption. So we're moving the outside in, the inside out. It's just kind of like, lots of paint everywhere.
Yeah.
It must be. I've got a brand new, young, energetic, visionary team that we're putting together that have been with us. I mean, I've got like the dynamic, not trio, not quattro. It's like fives of them. Whatever is that? Quattro. Dynamic quattro. And man, they want to change the world. It's exciting. And they're dealing with plants. They just love, it's like younger folks love plants. They're just a thing. I mean, we like plants, but we also like motorcycles and boats. And
I think they do too.
They're really into it. It's fun to watch.
It is. It's a good thing.
And they're into retail. So we're showing them retail. And retail kind of lost some of its sex appeal when Amazon, all the box stores came on. But you know what? The specialty, boutique, unusual, different things around plants, that's a very appealing career that we've created here at Waters Garden Center that I think might be unique for us. We're not having trouble finding great, talented people, but we treat people well, we pay well, we respect I think part of it is just empowering and listening and just going, hey, that's a great idea. Let's try that. Anyway, go on and on. Welcome to the studio, Lisa.
You obviously haven't gotten enough words out today.
I need to talk. Yeah, I know. Oh my gosh. Spreadsheets. They're fun, but you don't get any words in, just numbers and percentages.
That is true. So I'm talking about something completely different, but I was walking by the lower house, perennial house, and I happened to see this pretty little mum. And I thought, that is gorgeous. Yeah. It's called a La Belle Bronze Bicolor. And it's just so pretty.
It looks like an echinacea. If you're looking at this on Spotify or the video piece, YouTube, that looks just like an echinacea or an echinacea, not a mum. The flower is bigger and bitone. That's wild.
It's just really pretty. So I thought I got to show one of those just for the heck of it.
Now, this has got a bigger flower than normal. So this is a garden mum. So it's got bigger flowers than, let's say, a florist or greenhouse grown mum. We're growing these in, out where they're used to water and sun. And they're not going to vaporize. And it's a perennial. It's going to do this for years to come. That's crazy. What's that? Red or burgundy with a yellow bronze. Okay, I'm a man. Bronze is not a color in the crayon box.
Fine.
But red or burgundy is. And then it's got this gold
tips
and this fuchsia green inside. It's like it needs googly eyes. It's like it'd be looking at you. Anyway, just super cool.
Caught my eye as I was walking through, and I thought I got to show that. But we have lots of really pretty mums still, and we have lots of pansies, lots of violas, snapdragons, and now it's time, folks. Rip out those petunias, rip out the geraniums. You want to give those plants time to root out in your pots before the real cold comes. So now is the time to do that.
Yeah, I tell you that some of these new plants. Here's the difference between a independent or boutique garden center, a small independent mom and pop garden centers probably goes across the board, or a box store. That's probably goes for chain restaurants or unique. The chef is also the owner of the place. Is we get bored and we want to try something new and different. We're not just going to grow the top 10, plants. We want to go. We put our kids through college on those plants. Now what? When we are looking for funky, fun, different, unusual, and we like to share that with people that like us.
Yeah.
So anyway.
So speaking of that, nice segue. You did a good job, dear.
Welcome.
So we've been getting a lot of our evergreens in. So this is the product mix that we carry through the winter.
Yeah.
And now is a really good time to be putting. It's still a great time to plant. It's
peak season.
Better than peak. Yeah, it's just beautiful time to plant. And we've gotten some different things in than we've carried in the past. And I was kind of checking all those out. And you actually brought one home and planted it at our place. Was the Korean fir.
Yeah.
So it's a nice little kind of ball fir. Mm-hmm. It looks really pretty. I didn't even know we really had them until I saw you brought
one in the front yard. Where'd that come from?
What is that? What is it doing here? Oh, lost my mind.
I saw one and went, we got to try that. It's related to our conicolor fir, the one that grows up on Spruce Mountain, which is a very large fir. Mm-hmm. This is a cousin of that, but it stays cute and bite-sized and little. It's like a poodle or something.
So you put ours kind of underneath a great big maple. Do you think they need some shade here? Or is it just where you put it because it was a good space? There was a hole already there.
It's also on the south side. I had irrigation. Sometimes you just go for ease, and it'll get plenty. If it gets really 6 hours or more of sun, it'll be fine.
It has kind of a silvery blue foliage to it. Really, really pretty, but cool to kind of check out if you like different things. It does. Yeah, really cool. We also got a few Tannenbaum mugo pines in.
Those are neat.
Which I think are really cool. So it's a mugo. It's in the mugo pine family, but it does more of the pyramidal form, so more like a Christmas tree form. Just a real pretty. Not going to get huge. I think 8 feet.
Very small. Yeah. Most mugos are rounded or ball shaped, but this one's got a Christmas tree look to it.
Yeah.
It's very tight.
It's really cool.
With that still rich green, easy to care for, evergreen pine look, but it doesn't get gigantic like Austrians and some of these Oregon greens get huge. Ponderosas, oh my gosh.
Which we did get some ponderosas in too. I'll mention that real quick because that's not one we just carry all the time. And they are little growers sometimes don't like to grow the ponderosas. They can be a little bit finicky, but we got some nice ones in.
They're hard to find pretty ones.
Yeah.
And if they're not pretty, we don't want them. So we go
they can be kind of rangy.
Block them and went, those are nice. And we'll take the whole row.
Yeah.
And we brought them in.
Yeah. We also got in, it's the first time I've seen this, is a golden Atlas cedar.
Yeah.
So most people are used to the blue Atlas cedars. Nice tree for here, does very well. The golden doesn't get quite as large, so good for those smaller yards, but it has a real pretty, the new growth is kind of more of a golden tinge to it. So it's just very different.
It reminds me of a honey locust or golden locust, which is famous here. It's locust tree. The new growth comes out gold and then it just turns green. And so it's a beautiful plant for that. But this is the evergreen version of the honey locust.
Yeah.
Great plant.
So a couple other things that we got in, they're a little different. So we got some blue star junipers and some prostrate cedar, but we got them on a standard
tree form.
Yeah, so it's actually a little more, they have to graft them on, right, to a tree form. So they're just great in containers. They would look really cool in containers on your patio. And it's just something different that not everybody's going to have in their yard. I have a great big Japanese pine in a pot, and it does terrific, and it's beautiful.
For years, we put one of those stars that's grafted on this basically trunk. So it's Dr. Seuss looking, not really, but it looks like a mini tree. We put it on the backside of the pond. And so I didn't want a ground covery thing. I didn't want something big. So this is perfect. It was a small thing that's taller. There's a way to design with those, but they're very unusual because you'll be one of the only people that has that particular tree because it's so different. It's not natural. It's man-made.
So really cool. So we also got in a new shipment of Austrian pines in, Deodar cedars. It's a really pretty Oregon green pines. I love Oregon green pines.
Yeah, that's a pretty.
We need one
green.
in our yard. We don't have one yet, but we need.
That's a big hole.
I have no idea where we'd put it, but I think we need it. We did get some more blue Atlas cedars in that are real pretty. And also, I just want to let people know because they sometimes are hard to find. We did get some manzanitas in. We got Panchito and Chieftain and the Kinnikinnick in. And now would be a great time to be getting those in the ground.
I just found some bristlecone pines, which is the
Ooh,
oldest
haven't
living
had those in
organism.
years.
I found some up in Oregon. A friend of mine's growing them.
Wow.
And I went, ooh, save me 20 of those. I want those next spring. They're not here now. We'll bring them in next spring. But bristlecones are a great drought hardy native kind of pine
And
tree.
we have not
that
been
grows
able
here.
to find those in a long time.
Well,
That's
I
great.
wish we'd keep going. We will be back after this.
Water's October companion plants that grow well together are blaze maples, burning bush, Arizona creeper, glamour kale, and spicy mum.
Water's spicy mums are best sellers for super long bloom times and local garden tuck.
Spicy mums glow yellow with a halo of fiery orange around each daisy flower.
These big, bold perennials are perfectly shaped and add color in autumn when few flowers are in peak bloom.
You'll find bright fall flowers here at Waters Garden Center in Prescott.
You're listening to garden expert Ken Lain, owner of Waters Garden Center in Prescott. Look for more tips, tricks, and garden shortcuts through Ken's website. Additional shows of this podcast, read his weekly garden column, or follow him on Facebook, Instagram at watersgardencenter.com. That's Waters with 2 T's, gardencenter.com.